We're here at the Meineke 2026 trade show, having a great time. I'm here with Lauren from AutoVitals, and we had an unbelievable session of podcasts where we met with franchisees that talked about their top 3 technology platforms that they use. And all we heard at each session was AutoVitals, AutoVitals, AutoVitals. So be sure to check out those episodes, but let's learn how Lauren thinks about AutoVitals and how it can really help a business drive success inside of their ecosystem. So during the podcast, what we talked about was how does your technology help the customer, help the team, and then help the business actually make money. So why don't we start with the customer? When you guys are looking at it, and let's say you're pitching a new Meineke and you're trying to teach them how you can bring value, what's the value that you're bringing to the customer?
So there's a few things, but first and foremost, unfortunately, auto repair shops are overcoming a lack of trust in the industry. A lot of people, when they bring in their car to a car care center, for instance, they're worried about what's going to happen when their vehicle's in the shop.
Right.
So what we do is we give them the ability to send them inspection reports directly to their customer's cell phone that shows them exactly what the technicians are seeing in the back of the bays. So it has photo and video documented proof, educational notes, educational videos, really to show the customer what's wrong with your vehicle, build trust, which we are proven to increase approvals from there. Usually shops, when they roll out our DVI, see an increase in approvals anywhere from 20, 30, 40%.
Really?
Is not uncommon. So the benefits to the shop, obviously, is increasing average repair order. Also, it reduces the burden on the service advisor. They don't have to spend so much time selling over the phone. Really, they can have a buying conversation with the customer that's educated about what they need to get done on their vehicle.
Well, I always talk about in my system, an educated buyer is a great buyer.
Yes,
Right?
exactly. Same thing holds true here.
I mean, I'm guilty. I mean, I've gone to Goodyears in the past, when I was younger and I didn't have money. I had to apply to get the Goodyear card. I'm getting over here and they're telling me all these things are wrong with the car. I don't know if it's actually wrong with it. I feel like I'm getting scammed.
Yeah.
You had all this stuff on TV where people were showing the shops doing, the bad work. And so this is bringing trust and transparency to the process. One of the things I learned that I thought was really cool too is in your system, you have the ability to present things that are also right with the car.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So we're educating them on the health of their car, not necessarily what's wrong with their car.
Right, exactly. It really gives them like a full, we call it like a vehicle health check. Also, like folks don't want to repair a vehicle that they think isn't worth anything. So it's really important. Our best practice is to present what's good first and then present anything that needs future or immediate attention. So again, you're building credibility by saying like, we're not doing this for upsell opportunity. We're making sure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here's 40 topics on the inspection. That's good. Overall, you have a great vehicle.
Right.
It's a healthy vehicle. If you keep up with these few maintenance items that we recommended, you could drive this 300,000 miles. This car is going to be safe to drive you, your family, your kids. So again, it's a real transparency and trustworthy with the customer.
So how do you think that translates to the service writer, the person behind the counter, right? Like they used to probably bring out a clipboard, right, and
Yeah.
say this is what's going on. What happens to the confidence and the culture of the business when they start to use your product?
So there's a few things. So if you have service advisors that aren't from the industry, so right, like you might hire a sales professional that doesn't have a lot of automotive experience, it really gives them the tools to speak confidently about the recommended items. Also, what we see a lot is service advisors selling from their own pockets. So they won't put things on the estimate because they think, oh, the customer can't afford it, or I wouldn't want to get my shocks and struts done. I don't want $1,000 repair. But when you give them all of the information, arm them with all that educational material, they're much more likely to present the full estimate to the
thing.
customer. And what you see is people will approve more work than you think when you give them the opportunity to. And then, of course, you pair that with things like consumer financing and educational content. Like, it really alleviates a lot of the burden from the service advisor to have to sell. They're just having a conversation about prioritization and what needs to get done today and what can wait till next visit. So,
I literally just had my car at Audi and they sent me the video.
yeah,
I click in, they're walking the car, and then they show me all the things and they say select the ones that you want.
right.
I selected 4 of them, right? Said I don't want to do those 2. They rebutted in the text message, like, hey, we really think that you should do this and this is why.
Right.
So I didn't even speak to anyone
Right.
and ended up with a $1,600 transaction. It's my wife's car. And so I'm looking at the things, it's safety. And
Right.
so I'm going to get the things done. So it's like, I love the experience because I'd rather not talk to somebody if I don't have to.
Right.
Just give me the facts, educate me, and let me make the decision.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
mean,
game changer.
yeah, what I always compare it to is like everyone's shopped on Amazon at this point. Like if you go to Amazon and you type in something you want to buy, a sales rep doesn't call you right away and says like, "Hey, I see that you're looking at buying this cooler. Can I sell you this cooler? Or how about you look at this cheaper option, or I'll give you 10% off." If that happened on Amazon, as a consumer, you'd be freaked out. You'd be like, "What is happening?"
Right.
By giving folks time to do the research on their own with the digital vehicle inspection, it alleviates a lot of that pressure that they feel and anxiousness that they feel when they're bringing their car in. And so then again, you can have the conversation on the phone. They can text the approvals. What you do from there is really up to your shop, and we give you a couple options on how to do that. But some people don't. Some people want to go to a shop and not talk to anyone ever. They want to just drop their keys off. They want to get text you their approvals and then pick up their keys after hours if they're busy. Like that's going to be their ideal customer experience.
Right. This is my ideal customer experience.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned something earlier about seeing 20 to 40% increases. So how does that relate to revenue and helping that business make more money?
Yeah, of course. So if your average repair order is increasing, obviously you want to be looking at high margin services as well. Some of the most declined services are things like air filters that are super high margin service. The part is really inexpensive and it only takes a few minutes to install an air filter in a vehicle for most vehicles. So that's also something that we look at with our shops is prioritizing recommendations based on what is profitable work. A lot of shops get stuck in the rut of doing oil changes because that's something that gets folks in the door, but that's a lost leader, right?
Right.
If you're only doing oil changes, brake services, it's going to be really hard to increase revenue. So that's something that we prioritize with our shops is like making sure your technicians are looking at those high profitable services. So not only are you increasing your average repair order, but you're also increasing your revenue because sometimes those aren't the same things.
Right.
And we also have a lot of tools to track technician efficiency, productivity as well. So you can keep an eye on like, these are the things that are going to affect my bottom line and how much pay I'm taking home at the end of the day is making sure my technicians are productive. They're not just sitting in the back of the shop twiddling their thumbs. They're actually getting work assigned to them. And then when they do have that work assigned, how quickly are they completing it? If it's assigned 2 build hours, can they get it done in 1.5? That means I can assign them more work. So those are some of the other productivity tools that we have that really
So
impact
making
it.
money, saving money. It's just
Exactly.
all across the board.
Exactly.
Well, I know it's been great working with you guys. You know, we've been able to take the FormPiper links, put it into
Yep.
the system, so they're getting that report, and then they can simply click on it and apply. We know if they apply for financing that the average repair order is going to go through the roof. It's usually
Yeah.
3 to 4 times what it is without financing. So it's been great working with you guys. It's been a great partnership. Everybody in the ecosystem's talking about you guys, so we're super excited to get this content out, and we really appreciate you coming on and talking about
Thanks.
it.
It was so great
It's
to talk
awesome.
to you.
All right, awesome.
Thanks, Brett.